go!
And there's nothing else I can say to that, but damn!
This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
Rasslin Rage t-shirts are available on prowrestlingtees.com/Rasslin Rage. Just click the link in the description to visit our store on Pro Wrestling Tees website. Every shirt is 100% cotton and available in sizes up to 5X. Show your love for Rasslin Rage and get yours today.
It is your favorite social media influencer turned professional wrestler, Forever Young, and you are watching Rasslin Rage.
Hey there, wrestling fans. Cody Fleming here, one of your dedicated hosts from Michigan Independent Weekly, and of course, Rasslin Rage, right here on the very platform, the Rasslin Rage YouTube channel. So listen, before we dive deep in today's riveting conversation, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up below. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on our exciting content. And speaking of support, a huge shout out to our sponsors who keep the wrestling fire burning. Interested in checking them out? Just glance down in the description. All their links are right there for you. Now, I know you're all here for the main event, our special guest for the evening. I want to make sure, let me put this up here so that everybody can see it. Right there, that is the special guest. But I want to make sure that you show him some love and follow his journey outside of our talk tonight. Check out Isaiah Broner on Facebook at Eat Zeke Eat. Catch his vibes on Instagram at Isaiah Broner 313. And hey, don't forget to follow him on the platform formerly known as Twitter at Isaiah Broner. All right. Hold on. Let me get this back. Boom. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to welcome you to the second installment of our exclusive interview series, Beyond the Mitten, Voyage of the Victors. Tonight promises stories, insights, and a deeper look into the world of wrestling beyond our beloved state through the eyes of one of its rising stars. Buckle up. It's going to be a roller coaster ride. And when we return, I'll be joined by the man of the hour, Isaiah Broner. It's going to be super, super awesome.
It's time to talk about Michigan Independent Wrestling. Tune into the channel, check your internet connection. Cody, Danny, Josh, they're the best at breaking down the matches into each and every segment. Michigan Independent Wrestling. Tune into the channel, check your internet connection. Cody, Danny, Josh, they're the best at breaking down the matches into each and every segment.
Welcome back, passionate wrestling enthusiasts of Rasslin Rage community. Thanks for sticking with us. And if you're just tuning in, you've picked the perfect moment for sure. Now on to the part we all been eagerly awaiting, with the growing legacy rooted in Michigan and a name that's beginning to echo in wrestling circuits across the nation. It's my immense pleasure to welcome a true embodiment of dedication and skill. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us live is, or give us a please, virtual round of applause for the incomparable, that is absolute, right? Incomparable Isaiah Broner. Isaiah, thank you for being here with us. Welcome to the Rasslin Rage channel. Well, I should say welcome back to the Rasslin Rage channel.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate you for having me, man. It was a hell of an intro.
Yeah,
Made my day, man.
yeah, for sure. Thank you. I appreciate it. It took me a while to write it, but we got there, right? So,
Oh yeah, man.
First off, before I get into any questions that I got written down here, let's talk about Isaiah Broner and how he's doing. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. Like, I can't complain. Coming back from injury in March, so like I'm feel close to 100%. I'm in good spirits. I'm good back on the road traveling wrestling, man. I can't complain. I can't complain at all, man. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm busy, but I'm doing all right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's what it's all about.
Right. Before we get into the questions, I want to shout out to Ethan over. He's in the chat. He says, "My boy Isaiah."
That's my guy.
That's right. He's over there on a Forklift podcast. Make sure you guys give them a follow at On a Forklift. They're our buddies. They're friends of mine. I've worked with them a couple times now, and good guys there. But so Isaiah, let's talk about your foundation here in the state of Michigan. Let's talk. All right. So you have every wrestler has roots, and some of yours are here in Michigan. How has Michigan shaped the foundation of your wrestling journey?
It's a start. It's where I learned. It basically to give me it's where I learned and helped me get started at going with Truth Martini House of Truth. Well, in 2017, it'll be 6 years in a couple weeks.
Oh, dang.
So yeah, so it'll be 6 years in a couple weeks. They gave me my start. So I met a lot of good friends. Met my DTA brothers. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically my start and how I got launched into it. I wasn't really following indie wrestling until I got into wrestling. And once I got immersed in it, just did my research and, did my studying while I was training at House of Truth. And I've been going ever since then.
Absolutely. That's amazing. So you made a decision to compete beyond our home state at some time, right? And that's monumental. What motivated you to take your skills beyond the state of Michigan?
Honestly, I feel like I just got to a point where I was like stagnant. I don't feel like I was moving. I feel like I had a direction and
Okay.
a lot of promotions I was going to. I didn't feel like I was learning anymore. Not saying I wasn't learning. I just felt stagnated. I didn't like how I started to feel about wrestling at the time. And for the longest, I was thinking like, all right, well, somebody's just gonna come see me, and I'm gonna be out of here. I'm not gonna be on the. And as time went by, it's like, all right, that ain't gonna happen. So I had to make a move, and it was like now or never. So just to gamble on myself and just start slowly branching out and starting over in different states and different places, and just had to do it, man.
Absolutely. And everybody understands. So with new states and new places comes new challenges, right? As you ventured outside of Michigan, what was the first major challenge or difference you noticed in the wrestling scene?
Just different places. It was different styles, different ways to attack wrestling or how they view wrestling. Like one of the first places I consistently was going was OVW.
Okay.
And they, like Al Snow and like Doug Basham, taught me to look like beyond just the in-ring work. So they taught me a lot on character work and displaying a personality and making people feel what you're going through or making people buy into what you're trying to sell. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to sell yourself to the fan. And if they can't connect with you, they're not going to have any type of attachment or they're not going to care about you. So learning that there, having to understand that everybody's not going to know who you are. So essentially starting over, going to different places and building your name up in each one of these places. It's like dropping the ego. A lot of places just has a different mindset than than the Michigan wrestling psychology. The dichotomy here, or dichotomy in Michigan, is just completely different. So there's different traits everywhere. As far as the in-ring work, a lot of places it's the same, depending on which show you go to. Like as far as athleticism, but the ring psychology and the formula for the matches and um fan interaction and building that with the fans is just different in different places.
For sure, absolutely. So you represent home, you do. How does it feel stepping into the ring knowing you're not just representing yourself, but also the spirit of Michigan wrestling?
Um, it's just, I want to say it's a burden, but it's something I carry with pride because I got multiple tattoos with the symbolism of Detroit or Michigan or
Hmm.
where I'm from on me. So, I don't change where my hometown from. Everybody knows I'm from East 7 Mile. I make that known everywhere I know. So
Right.
I do it with pride, and I want people to understand like there's great talent coming out of Michigan, and they're not just me, but I represent everybody trying to break out, and that's just the main thing, just being a good representation and doing it with pride and respect.
Absolutely. So you have to make key decisions, lost. Like you said, you're 6 years in. We started over there at House of Truth and Centerline, and as you went through your career, like you said, you felt a little stagnant and you had to make some decisions. What were some pivotal moments or decisions that helped propel your career from the Michigan circuit to the national stage?
um I would say three. One was going to OVW. um Two was Paradigm Pro Wrestling, and three is going to AIW and uh going through uh, when I can their training sessions. So like those three things like really happening back to back to back. That really opened my eyes and made me work harder and see a whole different side than when I was just staying like mainly based out of Michigan.
Okay, that's a great one, man. That's great. So transitioning from the local stage to a larger out of state arena must come with its set of learnings. Can you share an experience that significantly impacted your wrestling perspective?
Yeah, just it's all wrestling at the end of the day. Um, and whether it's 10 people or 10,000 people, like you want that audience to understand what you're trying to give them.
Yes.
Um, and you want them to connect with you. It's more than just the moves. Where I'm learning it's more than just the moves. Um, I wrestled Minoru Suzuki, and in my mind, I was like, I didn't think before the match or and during the match. I was like, are we doing enough? And midway to the end of the match, I was like, oh, we did enough. Like the little that we did, everything meant something. And it really opened my eyes to sometimes less is more. You don't
Hmm.
have to do 50 million spots. And it's not always about myself. There's two people, or most of the time, it's two people, well, three people, including the ref. And it takes all three of us to get a great story out. So
Yeah.
that's what I've learned, being able to work on bigger stages and wrestle in front of Ring of Honor or AEW is in watching them, watching people that's signed on that level, how they go about it, and the difference in things that I can take and put towards towards what I do. It's just the little things that some people don't pay attention to that really means a lot in the long run.
Yeah. The little things, right? Yeah, the little things that you do can get you a little bit further, right? So, is there an
Uh,
out of state match or experience that you feel truly embodies your journey and progress from Michigan?
um, I would say Minoru Suzuki last year and Eddie Kingston last year.
Yeah,
Like I got those, I
that's
got
huge.
those in back-to-back months, and the stuff that I learned from them, like the stuff that Eddie, before, during, and after the match, that Eddie relayed to me as far as advice, what to do, little nuances to do in the ring or outside the ring.
Yeah,
It really, really, really brought everything along a hell of a lot. So them two right there.
that's awesome. That is
Yeah.
really awesome. So, how do the wrestling styles and ethos differ between Michigan and other states that you've competed in?
Um, it's really pick and choose at the promotion. It's a lot of, I feel like Michigan is like go 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 go.
Yeah,
Um,
high
other
intensity,
states,
move, move, move.
other promotions, you have some matches like that. You have some matches that's a slower pace to tell a bigger story, tell a grand story that slowly builds up. I mean, you have that in Michigan, depending on the wrestlers, but it's just like it's a it's a multitude of different style and ring psychology in different places. Um, it's just like OVW is more. I won't say more performance based, not just what you can do in the ring, but it's TV. So
Yeah,
you're focusing on the audience. You can like at ICW, it's like pretty much death matches, and they want to see you fight. So it's just this is pick of the litter wherever you go to. It's different, distinct style there. Michigan is high intent. It seems for the most part it's high intensity, go go go, and you know
yeah,
that's just the real difference. What to me
gotcha.
is. Yeah.
Nice. So, got to find out. Oh, there we go. So, goals, aspirations. You know, every interview I do, I usually talk about goals because goals are huge. You got to
Oh
have
yeah.
goals, and if you don't write them down, they're just dreams. You've achieved so much already. You've had some really big matches. Are there specific places or wrestling events within the U.S. you're looking forward to, or aiming for? That's what I want to say.
Um, aiming for, um, I would like to be a contracted talent. Like I'm speaking into existence. Like within a year, I believe I'll be signed somewhere. I don't know where, but that's a main goal for me. I would love to work Japan, like doing a G1 as a goal in Japan, and just continue to travel and be able to work with like different talents, like some of the best talent. Like I've been like tremendously blessed like the last 2 years to work with some of the people I work with,
Yeah.
and hopefully I can knock off a couple more names on the list this year, this coming year. So just continue to work hard and continue to get better, and I feel like things will work themselves out.
For sure. You know, one last question. You know, thank you, by the way, dude. These are great. I love this.
No
Uh,
problem.
adv- Advice, right? You know, you gotta leave it better than when you left, right? So,
Yep.
what would you say to up and coming Michigan wrestlers? Because there's a lot of them, man. House of Truth is pumping them out, right? Uh, who dream of making it into the same place on the national stage. They want to get there. Much just like you. What would you say to them? What would you tell them to do?
Listen. Um, Listen as much as you can. Never think that you stop learning, or you can stop taking advice from people. Study, study as much as you can. Get as much practice in. Um, Travel, get reps in. Just continue to try to find different ways to get better, not just in the ring. Work on promos. Work on different ways to market yourself. Um, Not just T-shirts. There's so much different things that's marketable out here that people don't think in. And like an example of that is look at Matt Cardona. Like he markets the hell out of himself. He advertises the hell out of himself. But that's it. But my main thing is just listen. Um, Always listen and be receptive to critiques, information, and advice.
Absolutely. That's some great advice, right? Great advice. You got anything coming up that you'd like to talk about real quick before we get out of here? Any
Uh,
matches or places you're going to be at in the world?
got got C4 coming up tomorrow. That's in Ottawa, Canada.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'll be there. I don't know when it's gonna come out. So, but made a Ring of Honor debut.
Whoa.
So that'll be hopefully either this week or next week. So
Raise the roof, raise the roof.
look out for that. Just catch me at AIW, Naptown Pro coming up. I got Rasslin Rage AIW next weekend, and then we got J-Lit next week. Next month, it's gonna be like some of the key marquee games in the game. Eddie Kingston will be there.
Yeah.
Psychosis is there. Chavo Guerrero.
Dang.
It's a lot of people. So if you're a young wrestler, if you're not booked that day, I would just say come down, introduce yourself. It's a 2-day event, Friday and Saturday. Just come down, introduce yourself. You never know, you know what I'm saying, who you would meet or speak to or what opportunities can lay by just coming down and showing face.
Man, that's amazing, man, to hear that kind of schedule you got going on right there, man. That means you got a pretty full book going, it sounds like.
Trying to fill it up, man. Just steady working.
Well, that's great, man. And I love talking to you. And again, thank you for coming on. You know, this interview series has a couple reasons, couple things. It means for me, it's an evolution of what I'm doing, but it's also an evolution of the talent here to show them that, hey, you can do it, but it just doesn't happen. And you got to put in the work. You got to do you got to rub the elbows. And as you know, your buddy Karam was here last week.
Yeah, that's my guy.
One thing that he said to me last week is sometimes you got to eat shit.
Oh yeah.
You know,
and
that's what some of these people got to do. You're gonna have to eat some shit.
Yeah, man. It sucks, but that's how it is. Like stuff that led up to it after my first match, I got offered a WWE tryout. And I was like, all right, well, I'm about to go here. I'm about to crush this workout. I'm about to be signed. I got down there. It didn't happen. And it changed my mindset on things, whatever. It's not just going to happen. You got to put the work in, man. So
yeah,
whether it's 1 year or 10 years, you never know. So
right, yeah, for sure. And that's what I want everybody to see. But I also want everybody to see that it is possible and that you just got to put in the works, because there are some of these people that are content with the 30-mile radius or whatever. And hey, that's cool if you want to do that, but don't say you want to do these things and not put in the work, right? So I appreciate you for coming on. I want to put this back up here so everybody can see, so they can follow you on all of your wonderful social media, right? So over on Facebook, it's Eat Zeke Eat, right? Over on Instagram, it's Isaiah Broner 313, and over on X, they call it now, which used to be Twitter, is now at Isaiah Broner. So follow him on all three of those. That's the best way you're going to know where he's going to be, when he's going to be there, and who he's going to be facing at those places. Because he is very active on his social media with what he's doing. Otherwise, you know, how are you going to know, right? And we want you to know. So, again, man, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Well, joining me anyways. I'm always used to saying us because I got a bunch of people with me all the time. But I want to say thank you, dude. And, dude, congratulations. And I can't wait to see what else we get to see from you, man. It's amazing.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. You've been one of the most solid dudes since you started, coming around or when we was at Hot Rocks and all that. So I really, really appreciate you and what you're doing for the platform out in Michigan.
Yes, thank you so much. To all of you out there, don't forget, smash the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell so that you can be reminded of when we go live or when we do anything else right here on the Rasslin Rage YouTube channel. I appreciate all of you that are watching now or have watched. I appreciate all you that are going to watch in a little bit later. You guys are awesome. The Rasslin Rage YouTube channel is over 1,900 subscribers now, and we're on the road to 2,000. It's going to be awesome. Share all this good stuff. You guys have a great night, and I will see you back here very, very soon. Peace.